Sorry for not having a shirt on. Doesn't matter though, unless you're weird. But listen, the Pacers just won. Big news for Pacers. I mean, if I take a step back right now, being up 2-1 with home court advantage in the fucking playoffs, bro, in the finals, at least in the finals, bro, this whole situation is crazy. At first I knew that they were gonna go crazy, but I didn't know that they were gonna go this crazy. The way they won was just like evil, you know. And they actually made Shea not put up 30, which is, I mean, he still put up 24, but I think he had like 6 turnovers or like three, something. He had a crazy amount of turnovers. He had a minus score. Jay Williams put up 26 and Chet put up 20, and they still lost, bro. They had 3 players putting up 20, and Dort put up 12, and but they didn't have Wiggins. Wiggins, my boy, Wiggins. Wiggins last game put up a lot. I think he put up 27 points last game. I'm pretty sure. This game, zero points. That's their turning stone right there. And the way they're playing is sort of despicable right now. They're playing Wallace a lot, and it's really not helping them at all. I mean, they play Wallace for what, like 24 minutes, bro? They play that motherfucker for 24 minutes, and he puts up 7 points. And they don't have no other players on their team. They relied on Shea. Shea put up 40. He had 42 minutes this game, bro. 42 minutes. Shea had 35, 36 for Dort, 36 for Williams, and Caruso 32. Their starting lineup didn't do bad. It's just they didn't do good enough, like to make up for the rest of the team. The rest of the team did not come through. While the Pacers, they had a whole other story on their hands. Siakam still put up 21, nothing too crazy. Naismith didn't even go off this game. Naismith did not even go off. He did great. He had 7 points. He went crazy. The first half, second half, he was chill. But it's really Mathurin that went crazy. And that's the sad part for Thunder, is that they're gonna have to face a team that's literally like them, but it's a lot less selfish. Where Shea isn't it isn't on Shea all the time. Like they have fucking too many players, bro. They have too many players putting up 12, 15. And people overlook that too. It's like, that's what happened with the Spurs. Back when Spurs won, all those years, bro. It's like, yeah, they have one player putting up 20 points, one player putting up 18. And, they're definitely all NBA third team players, nothing too crazy. But they have like 6 other players that are putting up like 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, or 8 assists, 6 assists, 3 assists. Like a couple rebounds. They mix it up so well to the point where you don't know who is going to make the fucking point. That's what happened tonight, bro. Mathurin went crazy. He had 27 points. I already knew that Mathurin was built like that. And I knew Naismith and Obi Toppin were also built like that as well. But it's just the ability that they have to just switch up, Like Siakam can put up 20, fucking Halliburton can only put up like 15, 16. Doesn't matter what Halliburton puts up, bro. He's a ball movement type of player. When he's on the floor, it's a whole nother story, bro. It doesn't matter if he's putting up 30, 20 points, because everyone else on the team is also putting up good numbers. When they won that one game against in game 1, they had like 7 players put up 10 plus points, double digits numbers. That's the type of shit that wins championships, bro. When you have a deep squad where you don't know who's going to shoot. They can't cover up. That's the thing, bro, is that with Shea, though, Shea is almost unguardable in certain situations. The way his playing style is like so evil. I mean, he knows how to get fouls, and he knows how to go in mid-range. He's one of the best mid-range shooters in the league, and he's damn near unstoppable. But the thing is, though, with a player like that, you could guard up on him. But the thing is, though, they have 2 other players that could also put up 20 points. Like Chet could put up 15 plus. Jalen could put up fucking 20 plus. You don't know who's going to do it, but it's those 3, though. And then Wiggins came out of nowhere. That was their saving stone, was Wiggins. With Indiana, though, bro, they got Miles Turner, Siakam, fucking Obi Toppin, Mathurin, Naismith, Tyrese Halliburton. TJ McConnell is really good. I mean, he's like 6th man of the year. They got Nimbar, bro. Come on, get the hell out of here. Their squad is deep as fuck. That's all I'm trying to say. Their squad is really deep, and it's going to be hard for OKC to come back and win next game. If they lose, they lose, bro. If they win, they win. I mean, if I was in their shoes, if they lose, they're down 3-1. There's only been one other time where a team has come back from a 3-1 deficit. Now, if they win, yeah, 2-2, it's tied up. They get to go back home. They didn't lose home court advantage at that point. But still, though, Indiana doing this is a big step because I don't think nobody in their right. I mean, like me personally, I wanted to take my beliefs that this Pacers team has the ability to beat a finals team. Like they have the ability. Whenever I seen them do what they did in Cleveland, Milwaukee is like one of those things where I knew they were going to beat Milwaukee. There's a rivalry there, first round, but they have the ability to get past Milwaukee. They did it last year. I don't care if Damian was halfway injured. Damian's not built like that, bro. Let's be real. Damian's a good player. I think he went to Western Conference Finals once. He's a decent player, bro. He's a really good player. But it's not, that team isn't built for that type of situation. It's deep-ass squad, So with Cleveland, Cleveland got washed up and shit. And I think Game 3 is when all their starting lineup pulled back up, and they still lost. They won Game 3, then they lost Game 4 and Game 5. Game 4 was despicable, where they lost in like fucking, at halftime, it was like a 40-point, 50-point game. It was like the biggest deficit in playoff history, I'm pretty sure. I think it was the most points, though. I think they had 80 points. I think Pacers had 80 or 90 points. Something like that. They had like a good-ass amount, like crazy amount. And they just chilled. They won by 20, 30 or something. So they didn't have to do that much at the end. But, like, Pacers, bro. Now, I didn't, personally, me speaking, if this was at the beginning of the year, or not the beginning of the year, but the beginning of the playoffs, my top 4 teams that I would have seen go to the Eastern Conference, Western Conference Finals, I would have seen Celtics going against Knicks, Pacers, but it would always been Celtics, though. Celtics, I just believe Celtics were going to be Eastern Conference, at the least, Eastern Conference. And I thought they would have gone against either Pacers. There's a couple teams that are mixed up there where I don't know. I know Cleveland was not going to be built for it all the way. Cleveland's a good team, but I wouldn't have been surprised if they did it all at the same time. But Cleveland's honestly at the same par, in my opinion, with my thoughts of playoff perspective. I thought Knicks were going to lose semifinals. I thought it would have most likely been Pacers, Cleveland, or Detroit. I really thought Detroit might have been there. I thought those 5 teams were probably my favorite. In the East, I thought those 5 teams would have been a threat. And I think Pistons next year, mark my words, Pistons are going to be a top 5 seed, top 4 seed. I guarantee money on it that they're going to be a top 5 seed. They're one of the youngest teams out, and they're already a number 6 seed. They went to 6 games with the Knicks, and every game was a 1-possession to 2-possession game. Let that sink in, bro. That could have been any way out. The Knicks could have lost that in 5 or 4 or 6. They could have lost the same way that they won, So the Pistons are next year going to be crazy. The West, though, it was so tossed up, I had no idea. I had a feeling Minnesota would have been a threat for Lakers. When I saw that matchup, I was like, fuck. Like, I know Minnesota is hungry, and I know that they're young, too. And, they got Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle. But I honestly did think that Lakers were going to win, but it wouldn't have been in 5. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. They wouldn't have won in 5. They would have won in, like, 7 or 6. But they lost in 5. And, I mean, bro, they lost game 1, Warriors, I honestly thought Warriors would have the matchup I already knew. In my opinion, I thought OKC, if OKC goes against Nuggets, it could go either way, and it did go to game 7. Warriors, though, I knew Warriors were going to beat Rockets. Rockets are not built like that. They're not. I knew Warriors were going to beat Rockets. And honestly, the matchups that I thought, most of them were accurate. Honestly, that's the thing about the West, was I was damn near accurate on everything. I was 3 out of 4 with what the semifinals would have looked like. I knew damn well what was going to happen. I thought OKC was going to go against Nuggets, and it's anybody's game at that point. But I did think that the Nuggets were going to lose, but I didn't think they were going to lose in 7. I just thought they were going to be tired. I mean, they just played 7-game series, and now 2 days later, they're boom, back to OKC, let's go. Like, thought they weren't going to win that. And Warriors versus Lakers. I thought Warriors, second, and Lakers 3rd seed, going at each other. Warriors are not 2nd seed, but they would have beat the 2nd seed, so they would have been in the place of that. And I was almost correct about my accuracy on that. I thought it would have been 3 out of 4. But I thought it's anybody's game at that point. But I did think the Warriors were going to beat Minnesota or Lakers. I didn't know if they would have beat Lakers as easy as they did. But Minnesota, though, got lucky. Steph was out. And this isn't one of those situations where it's like Cleveland lost with, like they lost 2 out of 3 with their starting lineup. You feel me? The Warriors lost 1 player, and they lost 4 games in a row. Okay, so that's a whole other story. And Celtics, they lost, Jason in 4th game. they still were down. They were going to be 3-1 regardless, with him or without him. They were going to be down 3-1, and they would have not came back. They might have maybe pushed it to 7, but they would have lost. I did not think the Knicks were going to be in the semifinals or the Eastern Conference Finals. I thought the Knicks were going to lose to the Celtics if they made it that far, and I thought Detroit was going to go against. I honestly thought, okay, my lineup should have been, yeah, of course, Cleveland and Indiana, and then I would have thought Detroit and Celtics. I thought Detroit was going to be the dark horse of that Eastern Conference, and I think they have the capabilities of doing it. But in this Game 3, the Pacers are proving they're the dark horse of the league right now, and I already knew that they were going to be a threat after the Cleveland thing, because it's like, bro, their ball movement is on next level. And whenever they don't have ball movement, that's the one problem with them, is that when they don't have ball movement, they're not on the level that they usually are on. Like, I see it whenever they lost, I think it was Game 5. I think it was Game 5 of Knicks, I'm pretty sure. And I remember that because they were up. I watched that game all the way through. They were chilling. They were winning. But then they fucked up with ball movement. And Karl Anthony Towns went crazy. Cat went crazy. Regardless, in the fourth quarter, I witnessed that. I knew once he popped out with 2 threes, it was in the first, like 30 seconds. It was like, yeah, they're coming back. But, I mean, the Pacers, they did it, bro. They came back and they won the whole series, 6 games. I just think it's crazy, bro. My dad's from Indiana, so he's rooting for Pacers. He was born there till he's 13. And, my uncle, my dad's brother, lives in OKC. He's been living in OKC for the past 30 years. So they have rivalry right now, which I honestly thought would have not existed at all. I would have not guessed that my dad's born team and my uncle's team that he lives in basically his whole life. I mean, he's fucking like 58, some shit, and he's lived there for probably like more than 30. I'm not gonna lie. My cousins are, I think, like 32, and they're his sons are, like, they've probably been living there for 35 years, 33 years, something like that. And it's just mind blowing, bro. I'm already in awe from this whole situation. And then the fact that Indiana's up 2-1 in the finals is crazy with home court advantage. If they actually win Game 4, bro, I mean, statistically, it's over. Like, there's no way OKC's going to come back. But if they do, they do. I just think, Pacers, they're going to be a threat. And it's funny, too, because, bro, next year, I don't think they're going to be a top 2 seed. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're still going to be like a 3-4 type of seed. I don't think they're going to be second seed. I could see it now that Cleveland might be first seed. Knicks are probably going to beat. That's where I think it matters what happens with the Celtics. The Celtics are a big if, because without Jason Tatum, they might jump down to 4. They might go down to 5. Who knows? They're still beating the playoffs though, for sure. They're not going to not be out. They're not going to be out of the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to be a top 2, top 3 seed. And that's where Indiana might come in and swoop up the 3rd, 2nd seed. Who knows? I just don't think it doesn't even matter, bro. Like that record doesn't even matter. It just adds to the fact that you won a championship. And with OKC winning 68 games, that's cool. But like championship matters more, in my opinion. Like, championship matters way more than a fucking record. Like, it doesn't matter. All the winners from the last couple of years, except for the Celtics and the Warriors, in that period of time, none of those teams that won had 60 wins. I'm pretty sure none of them won with 60 wins. They had 50, of course, but they didn't have 60 on the dot or above. Celtics were the one exception. They had 64 wins. They had the best record last year in the whole league, and they won. Celtics deserved it too, in my opinion. Celtics are built different. Enough yapping, though. Indiana is going crazy, and they're proving their depth. I think, it's their first game back home, and if they clutch up Game 4, bro, if they beat OKC in 5 games, even 6 games, which honestly, if they win Game 4, then yeah, they're going to probably beat them in 6 to 7. I don't think they're going to, I don't know. I feel like it's going to end in 6 or 7. I don't think it's going to end in 5. I don't think OKC is going to let it end in 5, in my opinion. I don't think Indiana's going to let it end in 5 either. I mean, well, it won't. They're up 2. So it'd have to end in 6 for them regardless. That's why I say it's got to be, my money's on it's going to be a Game 6, and I think Pacers might come in clutch. But it just depends on what happens next game. Next game decides everything. It's a big deal, bro. I'm not going to lie. I didn't even realize they won until I got out of work. I was checking the score. It was like 93-91, fourth quarter. I think it was like fucking 8 minutes left. I don't remember. I didn't really keep up with it. I've been working like fucking 14 hours a day, bro. I wake up at 8, leave at fucking like 11. I've been working dead ass like that's like 15, but like like 14 hours a day most of the time I'm working. Been trying to clutch up with work and just work every day because it's like, bro, fuck it. And I'll just post one video a day, post 5 shorts, keep up with that, try to make video content for all the people that watch my lives. I just try to make video content because I want to move away from streaming for a little bit. I'll still be streaming on the weekends, streaming Saturday and Sunday. And if I have a day off during the week where it's like randomized, like tomorrow I might be able to do it in the morning because, well, not tomorrow, but on Friday I'll probably be able to do it in the morning because I'll be off from the other job. We don't have any work that day. And then next week I have a Wednesday off, so I'll probably be able to do it at night. That's how I'm going to play around with it. If I have one day off during the week, other than the weekends, then I'll stream on that day as well. But I will do streaming on the weekends. I'm not going to just be weekends only. I'm going to try my best, but I just don't want to bore y'all. Like, I'm not going to put on my screen that I'm live when I'm not live. Like, I'm not even in the room. I'm at work. Like, I come home for like an hour if I'm lucky in between those jobs. So I wouldn't even be able to do anything in that hour. I'd rather just get ready and take a shower and clean up and get ready to go back to the other job. And then when I get home, I'd rather just make a video than hop on live and wait for the people to pop in. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather just focus on videos. Shout out Greg, shout out Ben, shout out Hunter, shout out Eco, shout out Evo, shout out Dark Lord Revan, shout out Renton. Shout out all the people watching the videos, lives, Appreciate you guys for being there, and I'm sorry that I'm not active as much as I used to be. I will be hopping back on more consistently, but it'll be on the weekends only. And I'm keeping to that too. It's gonna be the weekends, but it is what it is. I love y'all. I'm sorry for wasting y'all's time. Just gotta yap around. The Pacers are going crazy. I'm looking forward to this. This is gonna be nuts. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna be going live. I'll probably make a video tomorrow, and then I'll probably go live again too. But love y'all though. I will see you guys tomorrow. Deuce.